Yo, what's up, guys? It's the boy Richie back at it with another 6v6 Pokemon Wi-Fi battle challenge against Yoha. This was a guy from my Festival Plaza who was just nice enough to accept my Pokemon battle challenge, which I say is really nice because I play a lot and get rejected a lot, like 100 times every night. On when I send these requests out, people don't want to battle, but he was nice. And looking at this team preview, I'm just using 6 I wanted to use. He's using 6. I just trained up this Xatu and the Heliolisk and the Conkeldurr, and I really just wanted to kind of bring those in and use those. Funny, I've never used a Xatu or a Heliolisk in a 6v6 battle, so I thought it was interesting. Looking at his team, he had, some scary Pokemon like Venusaur, Alolan Marowak. He has the Bronzong, so I figured that thing's probably going to come out and like set up some kind of BS Trick Room, Stealth Rocks type stuff. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, since he did have the Bronzong, I figured that's what he was throwing out just so he could kind of do whatever he was going to try to do. I don't think I have really anything on my team that can just like kill that Pokemon like that, but I did choose out my Heliolisk to start with just because I was like, there's a few different routes I can go with this Pokemon. I noticed he had 2 different electric resists on his team, and I actually still went for the Volt Switch just because I didn't want to over predict or anything. When you battle off the Festival Plaza and get challenges like that, and you never know how your opponent's gonna play until a few turns in. But I swapped into my Xatu, thinking he was gonna go for the Earthquake, and he actually predicted my switch and hit me with the Rock Slide. Good move on my opponent, but I was gonna go ahead and go for the Air Slash on his Mud Skill, just to go ahead and try to get some damage off. And he swaps out right back into his Bronzong, who can take special attacks very nicely from my Xatu all day probably. But what he doesn't know is that I sent over this Xatu from my Alpha Sapphire version, so I was able to get Heat Wave on him before he made the transfer. So he actually sets up his light screen, which does suck. I assume this Pokemon has like the light clay on him, so the light screen is probably going to be up for a long time. But at this point, I healed up because I didn't want, I knew he couldn't kill me. I wanted to use this chance to heal up. I missed my Heat Wave, just my luck. I'm not a lucky Pokemon battler. I'm always missing. Hax always kills me, but I miss. And I was just going to go ahead and stay in here and go for it again. I know it's not stab, but I figure it could probably be like a 3-hit KO. Luckily, I get a crit. Word to Shady, I get a crit on this Bronzong with my Heat Wave. So I was like, this is awesome. We're going to go ahead and knock this Bronzong right out, and then I won't even have anything to really worry about. At this point, I knew he was going to go ahead and switch out. He wants to keep his Bronzong. I didn't know what he was going to switch back out into, but he does go right back out into the Mud Scale. I guess he doesn't really care for my Air Slashes as much as he thought initially, so I do go ahead and get that special attack damage on him. I don't have anything that wants to swap out into a Rock Slide from this thing. So as much as I did want to showcase Xatu and put him on here and just let him wreck, he does get Rock Slided and he does die. So it won't be the last battle that I use this Pokemon at all. I think I have some more in there with him on it, but I went ahead and switched to my Bob the Builder Conkeldurr. I do have Ice Punch, and I was hoping he would think I had Ice Punch so that he'd swap out, because he does hit me with the EQ. I take that actually okay, but I go for the knockoff. I thought a different Pokemon was going to come out, which is why I didn't go for my Ice Punch. He gets his stamina boost, so my stuff really isn't going to hurt now, but I do take Rocky Helmet damage, which really sucked because it put me at enough HP where I didn't think I would live. Another Earthquake, maybe if he had like a low roll. I don't really do the damage calcs thing, so my guy did actually die. I wasn't going to over predict again. I was going to hit him with the Ice Punch, and you know, try to get as much damage on this thing. But at this point, I was like, this guy has to die. We got to get this Mudscale out of here because he's just doing way too much out here on the field. So I went for the Surf to go ahead and try to knock this thing out. My guy's choice specs, and somehow this thing lived. I don't understand how. I mean, I know I'm not like specially attack invested, but man, I did not think this thing would live. He hits me with the Earthquake, and you know, at this point, I started packing my bags. I was like, it's GG. I'm playing for pride at this point. You know, that's a wrap. This Mudscale just like tore into my team, just killed 3 of my Pokemon. It's 3-on-6 at this right now. So I went ahead and went for my Icicle Spear. Just for you guys who don't know, like I didn't know, Mamoswines do not learn Icicle Crash on their own. They don't learn it. It's a breeded move. And I realized too late, but I was still going to just rock out with the Icicle Spear. He chooses out this Alolan Marowak. I didn't understand why he wanted to choose it out, but I was just going to go for my EQ to just go ahead and get this thing out the way. I thought he was feeding it to me on a plate or something because he felt sorry for me, but instead he chooses him out and uses Protect to, I guess, scout out what I was going to try to do. But he chooses out the Bronzong just to show that he's Levitate. I don't understand why he was doing all that. I mean, if he would have just chose out the Bronzong, I was going to use Earthquake anyway. So all this really revealed is that this thing does not take fire moves too well from me. So with that being said, I was going to go ahead and swap right out into my Houndoom. I used this thing in my last battle. I really do love this Pokemon, and I didn't really realize it until it released on Sun and Moon like 2 months ago. So yeah, I'm not stupid enough to go for my Flamethrower while he still has that Alolan Marowak on his team. So I went for the super safe move of going for Dark Pulse. And I was hoping he was going to choose him out just so I could knock him out. But just like the Mudscale from earlier, this thing lives on like 1 HP or whatever. I choose out my Mamoswine because I'm thick, fat, and I can take whatever this thing really wants to do from me. Whether he wants to hit me with Shadow Bones, Boomerangs, Flare Blitz, I can take it all from you. So he does go for the Boomerang. I take that nicely, and I was hoping that he'd swap out fearing Ice Shard because, I mean, all Mamoswines have Ice Shard. But he didn't actually swap out. He went for the Flare Blitz for damage, but I went for the Stealth Rocks. I figured if he was going to swap out and I got my Stealth Rocks up, it's win-win because then he just dies anyway when he comes right back in. But he's smart. He went for his damage. He probably thought he was going to kill, but it wasn't going to go down like that. He swaps right back out into the Bronzong. Me still not being able to do anything to this Pokemon, I'm swapping right back out into my Houndoom so he can get this handled and squared away. Because I'm tired of seeing this thing. I'm tired of him setting up screens. I'm tired of him setting up Trick Rooms. I like being faster than my opponent. And Trick Rooms mess me up. So he went ahead and got his light screen up. He doesn't want to stay in for sure. I know he doesn't. To take a Flamethrower or a Dark Pulse or anything that I have going for me. But I don't know why. I got greedy. I was like, we're making a comeback, and I decided to go for a Nasty Plot, thinking that he didn't have anything left. And he switches right back into this Glossopod, and I got scared because I was like, I don't want to take any Choice Bandit Aqua Jets or anything from this thing, so I do switch right back out into my Mamoswine just because, you know, after I got the Stealth Rocks up, the Alolan Marowak is gone. I feel like it's safe enough to, you know, sack him off. He did what he needed to do. So at this point, he actually hits me with the Rock Slide, which shows that he really, really wanted to kill my Houndoom, because that would have for sure killed me. I choose out my Haxorus. I didn't think he'd want to stay in. I thought maybe he would. Maybe if he had Ice Beam. I've seen that before, but he switches right into the Diet Pichu. I go for the Dragon Dance because I want to be fast. And I for sure wasn't going for Dragon Claw. Maybe he thought I was going to go for the Dragon Claw. He could like nuzzle me or something. I don't know. But I went for the Earthquake just because I wanted to go ahead and get this thing out of here. Which I don't know what those things do. I was kind of curious during the team preview because, you know, I don't run into those things a lot. Not online, not on Battle Tower, not Battle Spot. I don't see those things like ever. But he chooses out the Venusaur. My HAXORUS is standing here, you know, +1 on the speed and attack. I probably could have went for the Earthquake, but I just wanted to be sure because I could still definitely lose this battle. I just wanted to go. I have the Z move for the Corkscrew Crash on here. I typically have this in case, you know, they wanted to swap into, like, you know, the Tapus or any Fairy or Ice type for that matter. So I could just go ahead and, you know, just destroy that Pokemon. But I went ahead and used it to destroy this Venusaur in one hit. I also have it because Iron Tail is, you know, anybody who has Iron Tail on a Pokemon knows that it's not like a guarantee ever. He chooses out the Bronzong, and if he got the Trick Room up, I still definitely could have saw myself losing this battle. Luckily, I survive. I mean, he does not survive a resisted Dragon Claw from me. So at this point, I was like, alright, I actually brought it back. I won. He has this Glossopod. Unless he can get some super crits, or if I just missed everything at this point, he could have won. But I went ahead and went for the Dragon Claw to go ahead and seal this battle up. So that was the end of the battle. It was a pretty decent battle. It was, you know, I felt pretty good. I think the best battles are, you know, when you're 3/4 of the way into the battle and you know, you don't know which way it could go, you know, when it's close or whatever. But I really just wanted to get something out for the channel. I haven't uploaded in like a month, and even before that it was like 2 months. And I know when I watch, you know, my YouTubers like Hayden or Shady Penguin, Weedle, Twinneedle, you know, what I appreciate the most is consistency. So I do want to actually get to a point where I'm actually like uploading, like maybe, you know, getting something out once every day or every other day. That's like the goal right now. But we're getting to that. I do have actually, like, I believe like 2 more battles in my, you know, my battle spot where I can just go ahead and try to get those uploaded. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I might do that actually like right now. But anyway, if you guys want to battle me, like I said, the best way to contact me is if you leave a comment, or if you do go to my Twitter and you know, send me a message or whatever. We can go ahead and set something up, and we can definitely get that going, and we can get you up here uploaded, you know, whether you're beating me or I'm beating you. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys later. Thank you.